Hey everyone, CHOEY here. Well, of course it's CHOEY. I'm the one making the video. Anyway, welcome back to episode 2 of Chats with CHOEY, where I'm going to be talking about guitars. All about guitars, buying guitars, types of guitars, neck profile, picks, string gauges, and a lot more. The first question I want to ask all of you is, when buying a guitar, do you look online and blind purchase? So see something you like and just buy it online, used or new? Or do you go into store or make sure you try it out before you buy it? So I've been playing guitar for about 20 years now, almost 20 years. And growing up, I was always told by my guitar tutor that you must try out your guitar. Don't just blind buy it. He would say that 2 of the exact same guitars, so say you had 2 Gibson Les Pauls made at the same factory at the same time, he would say that they could be totally different. Do I believe that? Not really. But to some degree. Guitars all have their feel. When you've been playing for a while, some guitars you pick up and you just know that you're going to love it. For example, like this LTD that I have over here. That's a super cheap guitar. I bought it blind for about $150 and it just felt amazing. As soon as I grabbed it, the neck profile felt amazing straight away, and that was brilliant. Same with Les Pauls. For me, the first time I played a Les Paul, I always wanted one, and it felt very uncomfortable. I was used to playing a Strat. My first guitar was a Strat. It was a Columbus Crest. It looked like a Strat. It was a Strat copy, and this part of the body of the Les Paul I found really uncomfortable. It would press into me here, leave a red mark, and it felt wrong. But now, playing anything other than a Les Paul feels wrong. If you've got a few guitars, there's no problem with buying online. It'll be interesting to know what your preference is, whether buying online is something you do blindly, or if you already know the guitar, you've already played it, you've seen it, you can then purchase it and it's fine. I'd always recommend trying it out. With all of my guitars, I've just purchased them online. It's worked in my favour. However, I used to have a different Epiphone Les Paul Custom, same black one like this. It was a Custom Pro, and it had a slimline neck, and I hated it. The neck was too slim. It was a D-shaped neck that was very flat, and it hurt my hand. About 5 years ago, I purchased an Ibanez online. Now, I love Ibanez guitars. I've actually got a Ibanez RG620, not with me here right now. But this new one I bought was an RG420 or so. It had a Wizard 3 neck, which is incredibly thin. It's like the D shape rather than the C shape, a fatter neck. And it was super thin, and it really hurt my hand. When I say hurt my hand, I would try and play through the pain because I thought I was just out of practice, and I ended up injuring myself pretty badly. I had severe tendonitis or carpal tunnel in my hand and forearm. It's better now after a lot of physio and a lot of rest, but it's definitely not 100%, and I did do some damage, which is really strange. I never thought a guitar neck could injure me like that. The way I play, I kind of grip the neck, I hold it like a baseball bat. I mean, I don't play baseball, is that I hold a bat? But I don't have that typical sort of shred style where you just rest your thumb on the back. I like to actually have my thumb wrapped over the top like that, rather than, well, I mean, I'll change it up, but that's how I play. I'll talk more about neck profiles. So there's that C-shaped neck, old school 50s Les Paul, or even Fender Stratocasters have that round C-shaped neck, more comfortable for chords, more comfortable for my style of playing. Then there's more of the D-shaped neck, which more modern Les Pauls have. In fact, this one would probably be a bit more of a D profile, which is just not quite as round. There's all the different curve radius of necks that you can look into. But this is where it comes into feel. That's why I think it's important to play guitars first rather than just blind buy them. Because I've done that and I've made a mistake with 2 guitars now, with an Epiphone Les Paul, and I've had 3 Epiphone Les Pauls and a Gibson Les Paul. It's like, I thought they should all be the same, but no, their necks can be vastly different, so look out for it. And if you've got a certain playing style, you might love it, you might hate it. So give that a go first. Unless you can get a super awesome deal on something like I did for this Les Paul. I got this for about 300 New Zealand dollars. It was a bit of a wreck when I bought it. I had to take it all apart, clean it. Of course, I've replaced the pickups. And I love this guitar now. I never want to get rid of it. But in general, buying guitars in New Zealand right now, I'd say I mean, talking under $1,000. It's hard to sell like something like an Epiphone Les Paul. I've had that yellow one of mine on sale for a while. I've had 2 people like really interested in it and then pull out last minute. It seems like the mid-priced or low to mid-priced guitars aren't selling too well. The super basic ones people are trying to sell them for a bit more. I think everyone's strapped for cash at the moment, so it's not the best time to sell, in New Zealand anyway. Let me know what it's like for you at the moment. Is it good? Are you selling or buying guitars, and how's it going? I know one of my friends back in England sells high-end guitars, and he reckons there's always a big market for that. But I'm talking like £5,000 Gibson Les Pauls, like 50s, 60s ones, incredible guitars. Yeah, so watch out for neck profiles. I don't want anyone to get injured, just like me. I need to keep myself in check these days. I want to move on to string gauges. Not only string gauges, but actual string brands. This isn't a sponsored video, unfortunately, but I use these Alexia strings that I was actually avoiding for quite a while because they're expensive. I would just use the cheapest strings I could buy, or really the Ernie Ball Super Slinkies, which I really like. I would use 10s on Les Pauls. Apart from when I was injured, I went down to 9s. But these strings, honestly, are amazing. They still sound new. You know that new string sound? They just sound incredible. They still have that real nice, I don't want to say slippery feel, but that super smooth new feel. They've got a coating over in the nano webs, and they're amazing. My old strings used to get super sticky, and I've got some string cleaner that I was always having to wipe them down with, especially in the studio where I'm playing for like 5 hours at a time. My guitar strings would get all clammed up and I was unable to slide properly. It was horrible. But these strings have solved that problem, and I'm never going back now. All of my guitars now have it, apart from that acoustic. I need to put them on there as well. The interesting thing with string gauges is, can you actually feel or hear the difference? Well, I would have always said yes. If I had 10s on my Les Paul, it had a beefier sound. And that is true to a certain degree. However, some guitarists, for example Gary Moore, would have always used 10s on his Les Paul. He had a hand and arm injury once, like I did. I'm not comparing myself to Gary Moore, unfortunately. But he had an arm injury, went down to 9s. Is there a stage in his career where you could listen and be like, oh, he's got 9s on his guitar there, or oh, he's playing with 10s in that one, I can really hear how his tone sounds? For me, no way. I listen to him play and it's incredible no matter what. Could you watch back over my videos and see when I was playing with 9s or 10s? I won't be able to tell. I'll know roughly when it is, but no. 10s do have a bit more bite. You can kind of dig into them a bit more. Aside from that, 10s require a little bit more strength out of your hands. I mean, some guitarists like Stevie Ray Vaughan played with 12s or 13s, allegedly used to super glue his fingers to give some extra support there, the tips of his fingers. Playing with 13s is wild. I mean, my acoustic only has 11s on there, and that's enough for me. With my hand injury, I can't go higher than that. I know acoustics, people generally want 12s or 13s for the nice resonance and tone. This Stapleton that I've got has 9s on it. It's got the slightly longer fingerboard. I don't like my strings having too much tension anymore. 10s on a Les Paul, 9s on anything else with a slightly longer neck. 10s back onto this LTD, and yeah, that's it for me. What about you? What do you prefer? Are you 9s all the way through? Talking of that, other guitarists, Paul Gilbert, a lot of you will know Paul Gilbert, incredible guitarist, Mr. Big and his own solo project, so many amazing tunes. Anyway, many amazing tunes. I love Paul Gilbert. He's in my top 5, legend. He plays with like 8s. I swear I've even heard a video of him saying he plays with 7s. I didn't even know there were 7s or 8s or 7.5s or 8.5s, which is just nuts, because hearing him play, his picking hand is so accurate. If I was playing with 8s, it'd feel like they're about to fall off the guitar, but his picking is so accurate, and he's just got that amazing beefy tone. He uses super flimsy picks. Flimsy, I mean, how else am I going to describe it? He uses low thickness picks. So this D'Addario pick I've got here is a 0.85 mil, and I was actually going to talk about picks. So yeah, Gilbert's using super low gauge strings and super flimsy picks. I believe he's always used, or in recent years, very, very flimsy picks. Now, if I'm to use one of them, I like it for acoustic, for strumming, but for getting some actual bite out of my guitar, I feel like I need a slightly stiffer pick. Then most people would probably say a 0.85. Oh, that's not stiff. People are using big, thick picks. I used to use Jazz 3s, which are it's a very pointy, small pick, thick as well, probably about 1 millimeter, I'd say. It's also the different types of materials. You know, like some guitars like this have a glossed neck. So personally, I don't actually like this. I kind of want to sand it down. I like the smooth, well, that is glossed, but that feels very smooth, or the more natural wood feel where your hand glides over it nicer. It's kind of the same with picks. I guess well, it's both plastic. This has a slightly more rough or abrasive or even porous kind of feel to it. It's still smooth, but it has a bit more grip. It's just not quite as, I don't know really how to describe it. You can see that one's translucent, that one's not, and it's just slightly smoother. There's a bit more friction. That's nice, it grips better. This doesn't fall out of my hand, and it just feels nicer to the touch. Not that anything's bad with this. I could just grab this and start playing right now, doesn't bother me. Another cool pick that I've got to show you is David Gilmour's pick. You probably won't be able to see this, but I'm going to hopefully let the camera focus in. I don't know if doing that helps. But anyway, yeah, this is one of David Gilmour's picks. And look at the shape of it compared to my normal one. It's about the same. It's about a 0.85 as well, I would guess. Smaller, cool shape, pretty unique. Thanks to Sammy, who I bought this Stapleton off. He gave me a couple David Gilmour picks as well, which was really cool because I hadn't seen these before. Yeah. Feels quite odd to me because it's a different shape that I'm used to. Feels a little bit odd, but it's still a fun pick to play with. Anyway, there's my guitar chat done for the day. I want to keep doing these videos where I just give myself a chance to kind of speak with you all a little bit more. I know a lot of you probably just want to hear the playing, the guitar, the music, but I like doing this where I get to speak a bit more about my guitars and give a bit more of an insight into where my mind's at with anything I'm doing. Anyway, peace out, everyone. Remember, my album Time to Rise is out now. Go check it out. Please let me know what you think. That'll mean a lot to me. Worked really hard throughout 2024 on this album. I hope you enjoyed the new music. I hope you enjoyed the new videos, and I appreciate you all. So thanks for following along on the journey of CHOEY. A lot more to come. Let's leave it there.